залишилась одна, тихо і нестерпно.
Hey YouTube, this is Uncle Momo's music reaction channel where I provide my views on talented artists from around the world, both established artists and non-established artists. And I promise you that you won't be disappointed whatsoever. So why don't you come and join me in discovering amazing, talented artists and bringing it to the forefront of my channel for us to view. Now, my first reaction of today, we're going to go over to Ukraine. As you know, that I'm a firm supporter of Ukraine. This particular artist, I have reacted to her before. She has an amazing voice. Her track has just been released on the 28th of July. And so far it's reached about 158, close to 160,000 views. So well done for her. And I hope it carries on keeping growing. This is, and I hope I pronounced her name right, is Zlata is it? Oh, I had it before. Zlata, got that back. Zlata, yeah. I got the Vich, Negovich. Is it Ognegovich? I can never pronounce that. Every time we was off camera, got it. I was pronouncing it right. I was hardcore. I was smiling. I was like, yeah, very, very confident. Now, wait a minute.
Zlata Ognєвіч.
Ognevic. Okay, Zlata Ognevic. There you go. In the description page, I just want to read a couple of things before we go straight onto her track. So apologies if it's taking so long to get there. But it says, Light is a song dedicated to the employees of state emergency services who every day dismantle rubble, rescue people, domain territories, and provide physiological support, at the same time risking their own health and lives. Since the first days of the full-scale invasion, Zlata has been in Ukraine, and temporary visits are, especially for the charities concerts, the funds from which are directed to humanitarian military aids to Ukraine. The singer took part in more than 100 concerts for our military, temporary migrants, and collected more than 8 million, is it Havanyas? I don't know, I'm not 100% confidence in pronouncing the last part of that. So if you can break that down for me, that'd be amazing. There is another part of it which I will read after, but I just want to put things in perspective about what these amazing artists are doing individually. You know, she's not the only one that's doing such amazing things like this. And like I said, some parts in the country, some parts in the Western world, if this was happening, I asked the question, how many of these, you know, your Elton Johns and you know what I mean, those high class, powerful artists, how much of them would actually stay in the country, and how much would actually go to their third country and stay there and provide support from afar? You know, it's a massive question mark. But look, if you haven't done already, please subscribe to my channel. Don't forget to hit the notification button to indicate to you when my next uploads will be. Now, without further ado, you know what we're here for. Great vocabs and a damn good video audio music, as well as your support. Can you dig it? Oh, this hasn't got English subtitles. I've tried to get it. So if you guys can provide me with the translation, much appreciated.
Здається, що в цих стінах я залишилась одна, тихо і нестерпно. Я затоную подих, що надію не злякати, отак треба. Щоб не пірнути у зневіру, кажуть до кінця, триматися треба, поки б'ється серце. Крізь тріщини злами, крізь гійні уламки, розсипа світло тьму, зруйновані храми, страху туманний мить розійдуться. Світло нагадає нам, що буде завтра, світло нагадає, рятує рани, світло нагадає
take house enough for you, I don't know what is. Seriously.
Крізь тріщини злами, крізь гині лавки, проси світло тьму, зруйновані храми і страху тумани мить розійдуться. Світло нагадає нам, що буде завтра, світло нагадає, врятує рани, світло нагадає, що знали, буде правда. Світло нагадає нам, що буде завтра, світло нагадає, врятує рани, світло нагадає, що знали, буде правда. Моє світло, 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 моє світло, 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 моє світло.
I'll talk after.
Моє світло, темно, так темно. Я знаю, що в цих стінах не залишилась одна. Я все стерплю. Бо світло моє буде доріти до кінця.
So that was Zlata Ognєвіч. There's so much to cover on here. On this perspective that I did not understand one bit of the language. So all of my other senses kicked in. Just like any other person who won't understand the Ukrainian language and indeed have not seen the subtitles. It was still as moving, as clear as crystal. It was still, my body was moving. It was like my brain, it was my body. You know, I said to you many times, music is a universal language. And right here is a clear proof of that. Is music is a universal language. Because anybody from around the world that will listen to this music, their body will tell them exactly what it's about. Their body. And that's what I mean by other senses kicking. The whole body will tell them that. The brain will have to catch up because they don't understand the language. But your body will demand you to do more due diligence to find out what those lyrical contents is, to connect all the dots of why your body was feeling that way, why you were so moved, why you was close to tears. Because your other senses were kicking in. And my other senses were kicking in like, it really was. As well as reading the description, it helped a lot as well. I swear there was one point early in there where it showed the fire brigade cleaning out the rubble. That I swear that Zlata was in there in yellow with that little smile. You didn't actually see her face, but you just saw a smile. I think that was her. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm just looking at her eyes. I thought, wait a minute, is that Zlata? So let me know about that. Also, because my other senses kicked in, I'll tell you what else I saw. I saw a proud moment for Tina Carroll. And you're thinking, what? What are you talking about here? Well, let me explain to you. When I first reacted to Tina Carroll, and it was many moons ago, she moved me in different kind of ways. And then I saw, what I say is, inspirations has followed by watching Tina Carroll. She has produced so many musical children. That's following her footsteps or trying to be, transpired to be like Tina Carroll, or seen Tina Carroll when they was young, say, look, this is what I want to be, and they're all blossoming now. They're all finding fragrance right now, and I feel that Tina Carroll must be the proudest person seeing all these amazing females expressing themselves, in a way where how Tina Carroll does it. And everybody knows the story of Tina Carroll, the hardship and everything that she's gone through, her husband and everything else. But the way how she portrays herself in songs and moves you, and you feel that kind of that drive, that empathy in her vocals and in her body language. You see it so many in so many different amazing young females that's coming up or that's been up. And the way how they do it, I just see a reflection of females that's been inspired by Tina Carroll when they've been young. And Zlata, among a number of many females, young females in Ukraine, is one of them. And is just amazing to see. I did say that I was going to read the other parts. It's only a small part of what was written in the description page, so I'll do that now, shall I? Apologies for blabbing on. So it goes, a song of thanks to the people of, and I hope I'm pronouncing the name right as well, is it Steveta? We'll see.
A song of thanks to the people of
Svetla. That's the way I had it. Svetla. So a song of thanks to the people of Svetla, to the employees of the State of Emergency Services, who work so often, remains to speak behind scenes. I admire them all. Indomitable Ukrainians. It is impossible to look at the documentary footage without tears. Yes, certainly. But there's also such shots where the body smiles despite the fatigue and the pain. I'm smiling along with them. So I think that end part right there, sort of like, for me, solidifies that she was that the woman in the yellow, cleaning up the rubble as a fireman. You didn't actually see her face, but you saw her smiling there. It was just a very flash clip. But I've just, in my brain, I thought, wait a minute, was that Zetland? And I was going to say it out, but I waited to hear. But I think that kind of, for me, solidifies that was actually her. Check it out. It was somewhere in the beginning. She was in yellow. But yeah. But it shows that she's been, like every other artist that is from Ukraine, have been doing amazing things, connecting with the world in their way. You know, like Antitilla and I always keep forgetting what's his name? I don't know why. It always comes out to my head. He's Ginger. Everybody knows him. But I always forget his name. There you go. But them two done an amazing track together, and it's horrible because Antitilla sent me a message saying thank you very much for doing that. Even when I see him and see his listen to his music, his name's just a blockage. Same thing with Michael Jackson. It used to be every time when I listen to his tracks, I always forget. I have a name blockage of his name. Ed Sheeran. There you go. So I got to Michael Jackson to Ed Sheeran. I don't get it. Anyway, apologies for me blabbering on. This is an amazing track. It does move you, even though you don't understand the language, which warrants you and demands you to find out what, how she's, the written words, the written truths. You know, because the visuals and just seeing her sing and her facial expression and the empathy, like I said, it will make Tina Carroll so proud, as well as so many, many, many other Ukrainians, as well as a number of people around the world as well. You know, there's Ukrainians in America, there's Ukrainians in Australia, there's Ukrainians around the world. You know, trust me, and it will move them just as much as it will move anybody who didn't understand the language. And for that reason, I salute you. Amazing.
Я знаю, що в цих стінах не залишилась одна. Я все стерплю, бо світло моє буде то доріти до кінця.